gosh, I'm seriously doing this? Fine. Dragon Ball shirt, go. That flame war is gonna be ridiculous. What? I'm not doing it like this anymore. Well, how are we doing that? Now. Now, before you ask, I know that if a Death Battle 3 between Superman and Goku would occur, most likely yes, I'd wager a bet that you'd ask who I think would win. Well, we're not doing that, because I have no idea now, okay? But, nevertheless, in that case of that happening, again, most likely, let's examine only Goku in this rematch of the century, for the second time at that point. Now, I humbly believe that the second Death Battle should have occurred sometime between halfway through Dragon Ball Super or at the end of it. But for those of you who don't know what happened at the end of both, part 1 ended like... and part 2 ended how again? Yeah, Goku lost twice. Salt was made that day for many, many people. So I'm not gonna go into this as a raging hardcore fan. I'm just gonna analyze all of Goku's fighting prowess, durability, speed, and if he had the potential to win. So let's get started. So sit down and watch, because this may be a long video. I need to use the bathroom. Well, pause the video, use the bathroom, get whatever you want, and then when you come back, sit down and shut up! Or, you know, call me a DBZ tard. Whatever works for you. But without further ado, let's begin the research. First, let's test durability. Squirtag did mention how Superman survived an equivalent to 12 supernovas. Supernova is basically kind of a planet explosion. And so much more science that I'm not even going after. Almost similar to Dragon Ball Blast, but moving on. Which means he could handle the Milky Way supernovas as long as it doesn't destroy the sun. So, what am I getting at? What happens when a simple Dragon Ball character plans to destroy a planet? They use their ki to create a powerful enough blast to destroy the planet. So, why is it certain characters, like Goku, who has the power to do so but not do it? Because they suppress the ki to the point that it can still give the same amount of damage, but it won't completely destroy a planet. If that was the case, then Goku's Super Spirit Bomb on Namek would have annihilated all of Namek, as well as maybe a few other planets. I mean, look at the size of it! Look at it! Look at it! It's almost the same size as Namek! Anyway. Or with this Super Saiyan Super Spirit Bomb in the Buu Saga. Also, look at how big this is! That should then at least blown up the planet and perhaps the whole galaxy then. But Goku can die in a planet explosion! Well, yes. But here's the thing. A lot of those times, he would have to be engulfed in the actual attack. Even if he wasn't, he still would not breathe in space, unlike people such as Cell, Frieza, and Buu. The three big villains in the entirety of the original Dragon Ball Z series. Not Dragon Ball Z. Why am I mentioning those three villains? Because here's a question. What would happen if Cell trained the same amount of time as Frieza, as in the exact same amount, 4 months, Zenkai and all, how strong would he be? Well, actually, that's a tough question, sure, but Cell breathing in space would give Superman a challenge if he, hypothetically, had a golden form. Now, Goku can't breathe in space. I know some of you are wondering about when Goku and Beerus fought in Battle of God. While they were in space, Goku and Beerus were still fighting around the atmosphere. You see, there are multiple layers in Earth's atmosphere, the prime one being the ozone layer. That is why. Also, it's an anime. Why am I talking about this instead of continuing on with the durability? Well, number one, get everything properly cleared up, and number two, it was to completely talk about what I was about to say. As I said, long video. So take off all that. How strong was Roshi again in Dragon Ball? Oh yeah, he destroyed the moon with a Kamehameha! And Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z, at the opening mind you, did that with one hand, and is considerably stronger than Roshi. Vegeta and the filler effortlessly destroyed a planet. And need I remind you, Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta with one finger, which created a giant ball, in his first form before resurrection ever happened. Are you starting to get my point here? All the attacks by every character ever since has become increasingly stronger than ever. Goku's God, Kamehameha, could have the potential to destroy more than one galaxy in Super Saiyan Blue. But I must be joking, right? No, I am not. Super Perfect Cell said if his Kamehameha hit the Earth, not only would it blow it up, but the entire solar system would. That's why it's been called Solar Kamehameha in some of the games. And Super Saiyan 2 Gohan at that point, with his full power, no arm bleeding out or anything, could do the same amount of damage, if not a bit more. I said at that point only. Beerus in Dragon Ball Super was able to crack an entire planet in half with one tap, on a table, most likely using 1% or less. And Goku's Super Saiyan God form was equal to 70% of Beerus' power. And Beerus is only half as strong as Whis. And considering with continuing evidence that Super Saiyan Blue is stronger than Super Saiyan God, we can easily make a fine assumption that Goku, at most, could handle damage that could harm the universe. And with Kaioken along with that, we can assume his durability at that point can handle powers close to a universe buster! Keep that in mind. But only Kaioken with Super Saiyan Blue. Keep that in mind. With just Super Saiyan Blue, maybe less than a universe buster at least. Goku is one who breaks limits after all. So that's durability. As I said at this point, his durability would be close to universe busting, even though he can't survive a planet explosion and breathing in space. Also, he's dealt with Hit's pinpoint strikes and was able to become equals with Hit, who dominated Vegeta earlier. So even with Superman's pinpoint fighting, Goku could still handle it. And now we get to speed. Screw Attack kinda screwed this one up. In a sense. In their video, they used Goku's speed in the Saiyan Saga, when he was able to get through Snake Way in between less than half a day and a day. Correction, it's actually 2 days. Days at that point now, as I haven't learned from further research, but continuing on now. While that's true, then, the reason Goku's speed in flight is not so fast is because, for the fighters in Dragon Ball, conserving energy is key. See what I did there? Because, energy is considered a key in Dragon Ball and key. Okay, screw it. Nevertheless, Goku's speed on Snake Way in the Saiyan Saga when he was heading home was about right, since Snake Way is considered to be 1 million kilometers, which is 625,000 miles. And considering it took him approximately 177 days heading there first, and it took him 2 days, it's easy to assume that it took Goku less than 3,531.07 miles a day. And the fact he was able to make it back to Earth in 2 days, it's safe to assume he flew 625,000 miles a day, which means he flew approximately 13,018 miles an hour. That is 33.94 times faster than the speed of sound. But that's a travel speed in the Saiyan Saga. But since then, training in Dragon Ball means you don't just get physically stronger, you also become so much faster. And fighting in combat is different than flight speed. Fighting in combat means how fast you can move your body with excellent hand-eye coordination. Also consider how fast you can dodge and, well, move your body around instead of just running. And considering how fights in Dragon Ball are faster than the eye can see, and you have to sense ki, that means you have to be at the same speed or have the ability to sense ki in order to catch up. So at that point, we can safely assume that his top speed, if we multiplied it to say 1 billion in his Super Saiyan Blue at that point, right now, again, hypothetical, he is 1,144.12 times faster than the speed of light. But remember, this is only a slight rough estimate, and remember, it would have to be combat speed, not flight speed. If we included that, Gotenks, when he was first introduced, was able to say before Piccolo arrived, and this is when after the whole train, after lessons, Gotenks was able to fly around all of Earth in less than half an hour. Why that? Because Piccolo pointed out that as he arrived, Gotenks only had less than a minute left. And since he said a few dozen times, which would have to be either 36 to 60 at that point as few dozen, and it's safe to assume that he was either close to, if not at precisely the speed of light by then, and this was before Goten and Trunks went into the hyperbolic time chamber. But Goku's at the realm of gods now. He's stronger than his own son, he's stronger than Gotenks, he's just downright powerful now. And Whis is the fastest person and the strongest in all of Universe 7. That means Goku could rival that of the Flash in either base form, Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that. I'm only making estimated guesses here. Goku was even able to follow his time skip ability to a certain point. Being able to reach with Kaioken times 10 Super Saiyan Blue, was able to handle hit in at least 0.5 seconds, which is not a second. With that said, time to talk about strength. In the Buu Saga, we saw that Goku was effortlessly able to handle 2 tons on each limb. He was unable, however, to handle 10 tons on each limb without Super Saiyan. Using this evidence, let's say that Goku's highest strength with the tons in base form is 5 tons each. That is 25 tons in total. Then, using the Super Saiyan 50 times multiplier total, it would be 1,250 tons. Then, add the Super Saiyan 2 multiplier of times 2, that will equal 2,500 tons. And then, Super Saiyan 3 with the 4 times multiplier, it would be 10,000 tons. Remember, a ton equals 2,000 pounds. So, 10,000 tons in kilograms would equal 9,071,847 kilos. Also, consider the fact that Goku was able to lift the most dense metal in the universe with some difficulty. It's safe to assume it's less than a plant size, but a bit more than 5 tons in base form. So what about recently with Whis? Well, the weights of it are unknown as of right now, but it's safe to assume that in his base form, possibly with God Ki, Goku can lift with a lot of struggle, a lot more than 10,000 tons. But when it comes to general power and not just lifting strength, Goku and his original Super Saiyan God form, who fought Beerus at 70% of his power, both were causing the entire universe to shake throughout their battle and caused multiple planets to be destroyed just by the power of their blows. And considering Goku's Super Saiyan Blue is stronger than Super Saiyan God, as we've learned, we can assume that, even with more training for Whis and the hyperbolic time chamber with Vegeta, the highest I could say Goku's power against Beerus would be right about now would have to be between 85% to 90% in just Super Saiyan Blue. There's the potential he could beat Beerus quickly with a Kaioken times 10, But probably shouldn't do that because of the last time he did that. Filler episode, anyone? Anyway, I can say the least amount I can say for his strength at that point against Beerus, if we win less, could be 80%. I would say between 80% and 90% of Beerus' power would have a struggle against Goku, and there we go. Overall, do I think Goku can win in a fight? Yes and no. Yes, because Goku could be ranked as the third strongest fighter along with Vegeta in Universe 7 at this point. But Superman is Superman. And according to multiple people in hand-to-hand combat, Superman did lose to Wonder Woman, and Goku has had training with many martial arts masters. With the most recent one being Whis, the strongest person in all of Universe 7. I didn't say all of Dragon Ball because, you know, we got Zeno, the Universal King, you know, the absolute strongest. Let's just say that at that point there was more universes than 12. So just keep that in mind. But either way, I can't directly answer the question. Maybe Goku can win. Maybe Superman might. I can't completely answer that because I don't know everything about Superman. And heck, I don't know how strong Goku is going to be in the future. For all we know, one Kamehameha could have the potential to give Zeno a couple bruises. I just don't know. So, Screw Attack, if you decide to do round 3, don't use the manga. Just don't. That'll screw Goku over more. Plot holes aplenty in that. But nevertheless, I wanted to make this video to show Goku's true power. So, I don't know if he might win or not. But I have a feeling that Superman won't walk through a Kamehameha this time. I'm just saying. Anyway, I thank you all for watching. I have more to come. I'm the SSJ Alex, and until next time, are my theories even correct? If not, I feel like an idiot. Anyway, until next time, bye!